This is your host, Barbara Jean Lindsey, and welcome back to the Cosmic Oracle Show. And today I have a most prestigious guest. We have James Gilliland on, and I want to thank you for supporting Revolution Radio. We're the #1 listener and user-supported station on the web. And if you'd like the information here at Cosmic Oracle, we ask that you go to freedomslips.com and push the donate button and donate. And for every $100 donation, you will receive the gift of the Jumbo Seed Package with non-GMO and no hybrid seeds that are fresh and ready for you to keep on planting. And today's May 1st, and it's the first day of summer. And so you can get out into your yards and start planting some new ideas, right? So go ahead and make your donation as it could be $1, $5, $10, and keep us on the air. And thank you for your support. So welcome back, James. Thanks. We have all of our technical difficulties all ironed out, and we have full steam ahead for our adventure with you this afternoon. And so what we thought we would do is talk a little bit about if, since you really want people to come onto the land and experience it, what that would be like. Let's say if we call in your number, or is that the best way to do it, or can we just go ahead and go online to ECETI.org?
Yeah, that's the best way.
Okay.
The best way to check into things, if you go to it's private invitation ECETI.com.
Okay.
And that'll give you our full calendar, of everything going on at the ranch, and it should be up there on or you could just email us. You can email us at ECETIReservation.com or just call us at 509-395-2092.
Okay. So you have plenty of room for people to come out and experience at the ranch?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's, we've got quite a few rooms, and a lot of people camp, and we've got a huge field out here, for camping. And we just finished the showers off. We just finished tiling the showers. So we've got, 6 showers and toilets, and it's almost not like camping. It's you have an outdoor kitchen and everything else. So you got everything here. It's not like you're really roughing it, when you're camping.
And so let's say if I said, okay, I made reservation and I was accepted, and then I just jump in my car. First, I ask a few friends because we share the car, and go to your ranch, and we arrive at your ranch. And I understand it's like 90 miles from the airport there, from Portland.
Yeah. It's just a little over an hour from Portland. And the ECETI reservations at gmail.com is the one you want to go to, as if people want to get just use it by email. That's probably the easiest one. But okay. Yeah, it's very close. It's only an hour, a little over an hour from Portland. Some people, they can even ride a train up here down to the bottom of the hill at BZ Corners. But a lot of different ways to get here. Okay.
And so once we're there, and we are greeted by Ashley, or
yeah, there'll be somebody, Ashley, or there'll be somebody here to greet you, and then show you around. Usually get a little tour of the ranch, and you see where to go. You'll see where the Skywatch field is, and there's a nice little path that we walk on in the field. We call it the Field of Dreams out here, and people do focus walks, and they walk right out of their problems usually. So when you walk this field and do a little mantra like I've always been whole and healthy, or whatever you're trying to manifest, there's a lot of help here that help people, create a different reality than they're presently experiencing.
Mm-hmm. So let's say we're there, we're walking the ranch, we're doing our mantra, and then you also teach classes there. Is there a usual mythology that you usually follow,
Yeah, if you go to the private invitation, ECETI.com, if you go there, you'll see all the events there. You know, we have the ambassador training classes and self-mastery classes, and we usually do meditations. You know, no, we do you know, clearing meditations and things like that when people come. You know, just to keep the energy clear. Because the thing about a vortex or a stargate is that, you know, it seems like everybody wants it. You know, you've got other beings coming in trying to take over the stargate, or you have some, you know, when you have a light, there's like moths coming to a flame. Other entities come and want to create problems every now and then. So we just keep the energy clear here. So we're always clearing out any unseen negative influences and holding the frequencies here.
Wonderful. Can you speak a little bit about your ambassador program? That's, I think, the one that goes ring, ring, ring for me.
Yeah. That's a pretty powerful one, because during the whole weekend, you know, it's usually Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but during the whole weekend, we're not only learning who they are, why they're here, we're actually engaging them, you know, throughout the different groups and feeling them, you know, energetically, who they are and what they feel like when they come in. And then we usually go out in the field and they put on quite a show for us, you know, in the sky up in the field, and we get to experience them that way as well. So it's a real life-changing experience. And most of the contact, people don't realize, you know, it's the ships are fine, but most of the contacts are on an inner level. Most of them are higher dimensional beings. Mm-hmm. And they're very advanced, very spiritually and technologically advanced beings. So we have to develop ourselves spiritually and raise our frequencies so we can engage them. And we take a different approach, you know, rather than run around trying to film them, we actually invite them and rise to the occasion and clean up our own consciousness so we can, you know, have a conversation with them or work with them without, you know, all the other dramas happening.
Mm-hmm. So that is the way of the future, right? Of working with them.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So you get to step into that future now at your ranch. So that's, and you don't have to have a near-death experience to do that, right?
No. It's kind of interesting because a lot of ufology, unfortunately, they miss the mark and they don't understand that you know, they want to keep the spiritual part of it out. But the bottom line is most of these beings are very advanced beings, and they're very spiritually and technologically advanced beings. And so if you're going to work, there's no reason for them to work with this if you know, we can't understand who they are, why they're here, or communicate or anything else. So we have to rise to the occasion so we can, you know, work with them and you know, on some kind of a functional level.
Mm-hmm. And then you can get so when you leave the ranch, you kind of take them with you. Is that kind of what I'm hearing?
Yeah. You have your own contact going, and it's kind of interesting because in a lot of ufology, they totally censor this part of it. You know, they won't acknowledge this part of it at all, and it really, that is the major. That's the major event that's happening. It's like they end up shooting themselves in the foot because the very goal they're trying to reach is actually censored by themselves.
Mm-hmm. And opening that heart, right? Opening the heart channel is a real crucial part of that, or
definitely, yeah. It's, you know, your heart. It's funny because your soul sits right next to your heart, and when you connect, you access that through feelings, and you know, the intellect is just a drop in the sea of consciousness. It's not really a very advanced or way of operating, you know. So it's kind of, you know, using the intellect all the time to figure everything out really doesn't get you anywhere. You have to drop down into the heart. It's a much more vast body of intelligence that you can work with.
Mm-hmm. I remember studying with the Egyptian culture that they use the heart as their way of communicating.
Oh yeah, it is. It's all about the heart, and we teach Qigong classes and things like that. And that's the practice of no mind and getting out of the mind and getting back into the heart.
Mm-hmm. And I also understand there's a lot of laughter at the ranch. Hey, how could that be? This is serious business now, James.
Yeah, it's not like a church, you know. You don't sit in your pew and be miserable. We don't do that.
And so that's your medicine that you give out is laughter?
Yeah, it's like when I had my own drowning experience, my near-death experience, when I experienced the source, it was a golden white light of just pure consciousness and energy. And it was the most blissful, loving, joyous thing I'd ever experienced. And that's what I realized, is that the more we're in, having fun and enjoying ourselves, the more joy we experience, the closer we are to the source, because that's what it is.
Mm-hmm. And by doing that, then it raises the vibration.
Oh, yeah. Especially laughter is really powerful.
Mm-hmm. Well, that sounds good. I think I would love to sign up. And I'm sure there's a lot of listeners that would really be interested as well. And so thank you for putting yourself out in the ranch, out in such this way, because it's such a vulnerable offering that you're making.
Yeah. It's not, sometimes it's not a fun ticket, because we do get, we've had everything you can think of coming to our doors trying to disrupt or shut the place down, or, it's just unbelievable. And it's like, people don't realize we're doing this for humanity and the next generations. We're actually serving the very people that would like to not see this happen. They don't realize that we're actually working for them too.
Right. That you're building a foundation here to start, right?
Yeah. I mean, basically the bottom line is that what's happening now is totally unsustainable. And the earth is in really bad shape right now, and we're going to need all the help we can get to turn this around. And, the powers that were, is what I call them, have done a pretty nasty job of taking care of the planet and taking care of the people. So it's time for something else to come in.
Yeah, I agree. And we'll just get started then, and we have a lot of work to do. and in a way, a little bit of catching up to do, right? Are we a little behind? Are we right on schedule, or?
Well, I would like to see things a little further on, but they are finally coming together. Things are, looking good right now, and it's all coming together. I just wish we'd get a little more cleanup going on.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And some sustainable energy like yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah. We have that. I've worked with physicists, German physicists, and we have anti-gravity, counter-gravity. We can generate all the power we want from the void. I mean, that technology is here right now. The problem is that we don't have the leadership,
right,
to back it, and to make sure it gets out. And that's the whole problem. In fact, that the leadership is actually in the opposite camp. And that's the bottom line, is we've given our power away to people that have totally abused it and actually used their positions against us. And when we have to start thinking about maybe a whole new system.
Yeah, and taking that power back.
Yeah. Obviously this system isn't working. It's very broken. We need to do something else.
And so this is where your ranch comes in, and all of your work and all of your volunteers there that come and help kind of see your vision here.
Yeah, it's kind of like creating a template of a different way of living.
Mm-hmm.
And we can live a spiritual life in harmony with each other and nature, and in connection with the rest of the multiverse.
It sounds like a wonderful plan. It sounds like it can happen. It's realistic, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, it's the thing about it is that I'm not that important, because the energy that's coming in right now that is supportive of this, this unity consciousness field of energy. Some people call it the ninth wave. The Mayans call it, have different names, but it's coming in, and there's no getting around it, and that you can't stop it. It's massive. And so I just say resistance is futile. We have to get with the program and really jump into our own awakening and healing process, so we can, match the frequencies, because we have to be frequency specific to the earth and where she's moving to, and she's chosen to move to the next level.
Mm-hmm. And so a part of not only your own spiritual relationship, but a relationship and connection to the earth. And that's part of your work as well there at the land.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you for sharing that. And can we then go on to the feline connection and tell us a little bit about how that first started? Did that first appear interdimensionally in a meditation, or how that started for you there?
Yeah, the first time that it happened with me is that I was, I go out of body a lot and go up on the ships, and these ships are like fifth, sixth dimensional ships. And so I went on this one ship, and it was like, a pretty big ship, a mothership, and they had all kinds of different beings. And I ended up on the ship, and I was looking around on the ship, and there was a female woman, beautiful blonde silhouette in front of me. And, being a normal male, I said, who's that? I was wondering, I go, who is that? Standing in front of me. And she gets up and she turns around and runs up to me and just gives me this big hug, big, beautiful hug. And like long lost brother, type of thing. And I just felt so much love and appreciation coming from her. And it was just amazing. And I didn't even have a chance to react to it, that she wasn't, totally human. She was, and then I realized later that I've been one of them in another lifetime, and that a lot of us have. We've been other beings in other star nations and had other incarnations all over the universe. But when I contacted her, when I connect with her, it was just amazing. And then she's been with us ever since. Ever since that experience, I've had a telepathic connection with her, and she comes in and watches out and protects and guides and is doing some wonderful work. But they're very exquisite beings, and they're extremely powerful beings. They're very loving, very compassionate. It's almost like a Christed humanoid kitty, is what I would call it.
And when you talk, does she have a name? Do you have a name for her?
Yeah, Bagit.
What is it again?
It's Bagit.
Bagit. Oh, that's beautiful. Great. And then when you talk with her, do you also have visualize ever you having a body as well, or like that?
Yeah, I've actually had some experiences where I was meditating, and then it's like a circular door kind of opened up, and I was looking through it, and she was standing in front of the door, and she was just like weaving back and forth, and her tail was going back and forth, and she was telling me to come play, basically. And so next thing I know, I just went through the door, and I had like an avatar body. I had my old feline body, and it was just amazing. We were running on all fours and twos, and just so agile. It was just, and then after that, I came back to this body and went, oh man, I kind of downgraded on this one.
Yeah, when I was just looking at you, and it's like your nose kind of started looking kind of more like a lion or a feline nose yourself. I don't know if you ever get that where it kind of tickles through there or something, with the.
Yeah, I end up morphing quite a lot, and people see me like morph a lot of times and turn into a lion. I actually have a photograph. It's pretty bizarre where I actually turn in. I look like a tiger in one of them. I totally morph into this like tiger, which is, I haven't quite figured out that one, but I think on some levels we can be whatever we want. It's just a thought form, basically.
Yeah. And, I was on a show last night, and I remembered talking about someone saying that they felt that their body was like a mini spaceship. And was that you that said that quote? I couldn't remember.
Well, I mean, the ultimate spaceship is this body. When you kick on all 7 chakras and get it going, you can bilocate. You can go anywhere, and you can jump dimensions and bilocate and take the body with you. So basically it is basically the ultimate vehicle. You don't need a big metal ship around you.
No. And so with the feline and do a lot of people that come, do they also see her and have these contacts with her as well?
Yeah, quite a few people. It just depends on what your lineage is, as to what you connect to. Mm-hmm. And so, some people connect into the Pleiadians, some people connect into the Orion Council of Light, some people will hook up with the, Andromedans. It just, a lot of it depends on what's ever highest and best good for you in the moment as to what, what happens.
And so most that come is the Pleiadians. Is that a more of a common, or do you have one who's more common than the other, or?
Yeah, we have quite a few Pleiadians come in here, and one named Blajee comes in quite a bit, and she's quite interesting because she she's about 2 million years ahead of us in time as we know it. And she's a master teacher that's, again, 2 million years ahead of us. So she's coming in on a very high level, helping us, in the transition. And when I was talking to her once, I said, well, you must look at us like monkeys. And she said, no, we don't. We were just like you. We went through the same transitions and same experiences. But, they said we've transcended war and poverty and disease and all those things. We're beyond that. And we can help you do the same thing, if you choose. And again, what I'm saying is most of the people would definitely choose to do that. But again, we have a leadership that is highly compromised, by the pharmaceutical industry and the medical industry and things like that. So
and the war machine.
Yeah, and the war machine and things like that. So it's like, because of that being highly compromised, that's the main problem. Is our leadership is just so compromised that a lot of this really cool stuff just isn't happening.
Mm-hmm. But it's happening on your ranch, and it's going to start to happen more, right? That's
yeah.
what I'm seeing. Yeah.
Well, it's inevitable. It has to happen. This
Yeah.
is totally unsustainable right now, so it has to happen.
Mm-hmm. Can you talk a little bit about the Orion entities from the Orion?
Yeah. One we work with quite a bit is Hayog, and he comes from he's in the Orion Council of Light, and he has a massive ship that he's always cruising around, and they monitor the Earth and the energies on the Earth, and they want to make sure that we have to go through some chaos. It's part of the awakening and healing process. And so it's like semantics. When the higher energy comes in, you go through a little bit of chaos, and then, you move to the next level, and then another shift happens, and you go through a little chaos, and then you move to the next level. But they're monitoring this and making sure that we don't go through too much chaos, that it doesn't, develop into World War III or something of that nature. So that's one of the things he's responsible, is monitoring the shift and the energies and making sure that things don't get too out of hand.
Wow. And then can you talk a little bit about Andromeda, then, about the beings from there?
Yeah, the Andromeda, there's different types of beings coming from there. Some are actually blue. Blue
I
skin.
love the blue. I always wanted to be blue.
Yeah, and some have magnetized light bodies. They're 8 to 10 foot tall, and they just have magnetized light bodies. And there's a lot of different groups coming out of there, but the ones that we work mainly they're mythologically known as archangels. And so because they have magnetized light bodies, and they have these energy bands around them, when they come into this dimension, you start seeing them coming in. The energy body is like a magnet, and it feathers back, and it looks like wings, but they don't really have wings. They just it looks like wings. It's just the energies around the light bands. They're light bands, you might say.
Mm-hmm. And so then they telepath with whoever's there at the moment, or you bring them in, or they just show up?
Yeah, they'll show up, and they'll do healing work and communication, and work with people's energy fields and chakras and things like that, and balance their fields.
Mm-hmm. Well, it just sounds wonderful. It sounds very futuristic in a way. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it is. It's pretty interesting, to say the least.
Mm-hmm. And also you have some things coming up, if you want to talk about them. I know you have a contact at ECETI, the big event in July.
Yeah, we have a big we're starting off with the sky watches and camping, so those weeks are opening up. And then we have our big annual conference in July 2nd through the 5th. And we've got Winston Stroud and Randy Kramer. He's the Captain K, with the Mars projects, and Alexandra Metters and Rosemary Guiley is one of the speakers. Michael Elajon, Natasha, she's a Native American wisdom keeper, and she works with the Arcturians. And Laura Legere and John Rappaport and myself, and might have a few others here that we're working on. But it's quite an event, and every time we have this event, what's nice about this one is not only do you get to hear these amazing speakers, kind of give you a heads up on what's going down. At the same time, you can walk out, after the event, walk out in the evening and watch the ships, or you can, the whole room, the whole conference building fills up with orbs, and light spheres and things like that, and people are photographing those at the same time. So it's quite an intense experience. It's an amazing experience. If you really want to experience higher consciousness and energy, this is the place to do it. And so when you have a conference at a Stargate, really things happen. People have all kinds of amazing experiences.
And how long have you been doing that?
Well, on a smaller scale, I've been doing it for 25 years, but on a bigger scale, I think for probably 15 years, I've had bigger conferences going on here.
Wow. And so everyone can come. It's still open, and they can buy their tickets and make the reservations.
Yeah. If you go to the private invitation, ECETI.com, you can see everything there. It has all the information there. Or you can contact us at ECETIReservations@gmail.com.
Great, and see themselves having an experience and changing and growing exponentially, right?
Exactly. Yeah, we'll probably have it. We're working on getting things up on the website. The ECETI.org website is kind of floundering right now, so we're working on getting a lot of this up on the website too, so people can just go there and it'd be much easier. But all the contact information is at ECETI. At the ECETI.org website too. Just contact us and we'll send you the links to get the rest of the information.
Okay. Well, and we're getting ready to go to break, and so can we talk when we get back a little bit about your schedule coming up?
Sure.
Like the Contact in the Desert and a whole bunch of other things that you're doing, and then we'll talk to you about what you see in the future, maybe for ECETI and for yourself. And also, if you're still willing to take calls, we can have people call in.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay. And that number's 310-421-4053. So call in with a question for James right after the break. That's 310-421-4053. And Patrick, there shouldn't be any problem, right? They'll just
not at all. Here's the break.
Yeah. This is your host, Barbara Jean Lindsey, and we're coming live from LA and the base of Mount Rainier at ECETI Ranch with our guest, James Gilliland. And we want to take just a moment and ask you to go ahead and make a donation, because we are Revolution Radio, the #1 listener and user-supported station on the web. And if you like the information, I know we have like over 72 hosts and over 106 shows on almost 24/7, and we are making a difference, that we ask that you go ahead and go to freedomslips.com and push that donate button and donate. And for every $1, $5, $10, $20, there's lots of options and wonderful little gifts there that you can work with to find a way that works for you to donate to keep us on the air. And so thank you in advance for your support. And welcome back, James, and to the show. And we were going to talk a little bit about what's coming up for you in the future here.
Oh, yeah, we've got... I'm actually going to be speaking at Contact in the Desert. That's the end of May. You can go to that website. I think it's contactinthedesert.com. It might be .org. I'm not sure. I have to look at that.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Yeah. But anyway, I'll be there.
It's .org. Yeah.
I have my books and DVDs with me and everything else. But that's always been a great event, because we've done sky watches and got some amazing photographs at the sky watches of just wall-to-wall orbs coming down among the people and ships flying around and things of that nature. So it's a great place to go and connect, and have an experience. And they've got giant rock out there and the Integratron and a few other things to check out.
Yeah, it's my old stomping grounds. I lived there for many, many years.
Yeah, you know where Apple Valley is?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, that's where I was raised.
Oh, right there. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I lived there for like 15 years, and then and I was a part owner of the Integratron for about 5 years, and know the Joanne and Nancy there really well, and been to Giant Rock is just amazing, and Crystal Hill, and that's where you're going to be doing the watch. It's pretty amazing work there, and get people to look in like the old days when Van Tassel was there, right? And there's thousands of people that came to watching the channel. Yeah. I used to be there in the old days when it was huge and pristine, and they didn't let ATVs drive over it.
Yeah, we went there and we did some ceremony there last year, and we took photographs of it, and it's just amazing what happened. But in the photographs, we started clearing any, there's a lot of Native American spirits there that needed a little help moving on. And so we did a ceremony there, and we're clearing them. You guys could see the energies coming in, and it was amazing. And then all of a sudden, these purple orbs started showing up, and we just got engulfed in purple orbs. And the next picture was the purple flames all around us. And then the third picture they took was us standing on top of the crystal mound there. And you could see right through us. All of us were completely transparent. It was really bizarre. And then the last picture we took was of a little crystal monument that somebody built during the ceremony. None of us built it, but it was right in the middle of us when we did the ceremony. So we had some missing time, or we were basically gone, and then came back, and somebody built this little crystal monument there, which is quite interesting. It kind of show us that that there's more going on than we could imagine.
Yeah. I had this bright idea once. I wanted to sleep there, and so I put out my sleeping bag and did my meditation and laid down. I couldn't sleep for nothing.
Oh yeah.
There's no way I was going to sleep there, but I ended up staying in meditation for a very long time there, and you do go off into a whole different zone.
Yeah, we had a beautiful Andromedan ship above us and an inner Earth ship in front of us when we did this event. So it was quite
and you're going to be doing that again. You're going to be taking a group out there, right?
I'm not exactly sure what the schedule is, but I believe I'm definitely going to be doing a sky watch, and I'll probably be going out there, and I'm not sure, what they have scheduled yet.
Okay. Yeah, I'm Cosmic Oracle show is going to be there. We're going to be at the Experiencers Lounge on Friday and Sunday from 2 to 4. So I look forward to meeting you and giving you a big hug.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
And saying hello. And then you have you just finished an event too, so you're a busy person. You have an event coming up in first your event in August, and then you have August 19th through the 23rd. You have Mount Shasta Summer Conference coming up, and then you have an international UFO conference in Norway.
Well, I didn't see that one.
Where you'll be on Skype. It says you'll be on Skype.
Oh, okay, that's good. Yeah, I'll do that one.
Yeah.
But yeah. I don't know if I'm planning on going traveling too much right now. I'm just getting burned out on all the traveling. I want to focus more on the ranch here and ECETI and help it, go forward and grow.
Well, we have a new phone number, too, if you want to call in. It's getting late, but that number is 229-299-5320. That's 229-299-5320. So if you want to call in with a quick question. But I really enjoyed having you on today. Is there anything you'd like to say to our listeners today that you just can't leave without saying it?
Well, one thing I think we really need to give a shout out to is the Pleiadians, and the Andromedans and the work that they're doing, especially Ryan Council of Light on our behalf. And people don't realize how much work is being done on our behalf. There's like a little bit of a galactic war going on. It's a planetary liberation thing that's happening that they're really putting their themselves on the line right now, for this experience. But we can all participate in that, as the ground crew. And I think it's time to really focus on love and joy and bliss and send that energy out to them and ask for help, ask for all the help we can get, because we are going to need all the help we can get to get through the challenges that are coming up in the future. And because of that universal law and prime directive and things like that, it's very helpful for us to do our part and, work on cleaning up our own messes as well as asking for help in doing so.
Right. So when we're in our daily meditation, we can ask them have a contact that way as well to just start with the initiation. And I think it also looks like we have a caller. Is that right, Patrick?
Hello?
We have two callers. Hi. We have Mona and we have two more who I don't know.
Okay. I think, is that Mona that I'm hearing now?
Not right off.
No, this is Tricia.
Hi, Tricia. Do you have a question for James?
Yes, I do. I wanted to ask about the liberation process. I've heard several things with Mother Earth. I wanted to know, are portals going to open? Is a light going to shine above our head? Or, how is this liberation going to happen?
Yeah, it's already well underway, and a lot of it is being done through energies and consciousness and taking down the old grid. There's like an old grid, like an Archon network, or some people call it the the draconian, network, or there's different names for it, but there's like a grid of consciousness and energy that suppressed humanity for quite a long time, and they're tearing down that grid, and it's they're removing the people that are aligned with that grid. So even the Illuminati, they've made ceremonies and sacrifices and things so they can connect with these other beings that are part of that Archon network. Some very confused beings and some reptilian beings and things of that nature. So they're removing those energies, and that's why you'll see the Illuminati, the banksters, these guys are just floundering, and they can't do anything right lately, and they just keep giving up the game, and screwing up, and because they've lost their puppet masters, are being taken away. So a lot of that work is being done, and you are going to see some crazy lights in the sky, a lot more ships, because they're going to be coming in closer and lower. And I'm seeing this especially in South America and Peru and Mexico. There's just all kinds of ship activity. And I've seen in California lately, I've seen just flotillas of ships starting to appear over California. So it's going to get undeniable, and it's going to escalate to where nobody can deny it anymore. And eventually the talking heads, on the news are going to have to deal with it. They're going to have to talk with it, and the leadership is going to have to deal with it as well, because the real disclosure is going to come from the skies, and it's going to be undeniable. But yeah, a lot of portals are opening up. A lot of the pyramids are all activating. The power spots are really revving up. And so, yeah, the Earth is ascending. She's going to the next level. And when we do start moving into that next level, we're going to experience all these different beings on those levels that were actually right alongside of us all the time. We just could not experience them, or we're not aware of them.
Okay. All right. And do you feel like that'll happen within the next couple of years, or do we have a ways to go? Because a lot of people obviously aren't frequency specific.
Yeah, we're in it right now. And I know a lot of people, their worlds are being turned upside down right now because the old world is collapsing and it's imploding. And so there's a whole different world coming in. And I'm just seeing on a huge scale right now that, people I thought were never going to get it are actually all of a sudden waking up. And it's amazing, watching this process. But there are some people that just have chosen in this lifetime not to get it. That's not what they came for. And go ahead.
Well, thank you so much, James. I'll take it off the air. I'm seeing you next week, Seth and I, so I can't wait to come to the ranch. We came last year and we had such a wonderful time, and we're looking forward to seeing some more UFOs.
Great. All right. I'll see you here.
All right. Bye-bye.
Mona, I think you were next.
Hi, Mona. Go ahead and ask your question for James.
I was just, excuse me, I was just wondering, is there any way that we can get a definition or a description of the different ships and who's flying them or maintaining them or whatever?
Yeah, there's so many. I don't even know where to start, because you've got, these giant cylinder ships, you've got your basic, metallic craft out there. And our government has a lot of metallic craft that they're
right.
in as
I was
well.
thinking more etherically than materially, but it's been like both realms.
Yeah. And,
many dimensions, too, which has been almost interesting.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of the golden ships or the Orion Counts of Light, and some of the Sirian ships are actually a golden color, you'll see. A lot of the Palladian ships we've been seeing are kind of pinkish color, pink-orange color that have been coming in lately, or blue. We've seen a lot of blue ones coming in. We've seen all different colors. I've seen green ships that are just, a pure green light, coming over. I'm not sure who those guys are, actually, the green ones. But there's so many different ones out there. I go by the feeling. I can feel who's on the ship, and I can feel their frequency or their signature.
Right.
And that's how I know, basically know who's on the ship. And then by seeing them and doing that often, that I kind of can look up and go, okay, that's a Palladian ship, or that's another group, So, and we've had ships come here too that shouldn't be here, that were like some reptilian ships, and they didn't fare too well when they came over the ranch, because we're under the protection of the more benevolent ones. You saw them just turn into powder. It was weird. There's a giant flash of light, and then next thing you know, you just see this like little
twinkle
powder
dust. Yeah.
So,
well, do you have then knowledge that there is literally a space war with all kinds of other entities of this dimensional realm that are battling for this planet?
Yeah, there is. I mean, it's a major cleanup process, and the ones that have been here, people are afraid of this big ET invasion. That's going to be our own government pulling that one off, because the negative ETs are already here, and the benevolent ones that are coming now are coming to actually liberate the planet, and they're so far beyond and more advanced than these other ones that it's no contest, because they can just beam everybody off the ship and put them back on their homeworld. It's not a problem. Or send the ship somewhere else into another dimension. But it's and basically that's what's happening. With a lot of these encounters, it's like all of a sudden you see, like we saw, our own government chasing them with their F-16s and things like that. A large golden ship, and we saw this thing with its afterburners on coming in right on the ship, and you could tell it was like in kind of attack mode. And the next thing you know, the ship, the F-16 just disappeared. Just vanished. And so the next day there's 3 F-16s circling the ranch, flying around, trying to figure out where the body went. And we got that on film. We actually filmed it and everything. But what's interesting about that is and I asked them in meditation, I said, well, what'd you do to that ship? And they said, well, we put him somewhere else. And they said, he's going to have trouble landing. So basically, I think what I kind of got is they just put him in another time.
Right.
And so, he might be flying over dinosaurs, looking for
right. It's just a 45-degree angle. The reason why I'm asking is because I witnessed one ship that was so huge, but it was a big white cloud, but it wasn't shaped like a cloud. It was actually shaped like a huge donut. And then it was over Tampa MacDill Air Force Base and that whole area there. And nobody else would have seen it. And I was in St. Pete, Florida. So you know what? Everything's flat. I just happened to be right on one of those overpasses at the right time, but no camera in hand, So I was just wondering who might have been there communicating with that area.
Yeah.
Of course, this was after the oil spill as well.
Yeah. I know. I've seen those over the bases here, the submarine bases and things that over on the coast, and they're like a donut, they're like a giant donut, and they just sit there, and and they wreak havoc with all their communications and their equipment, and then they just leave. And
Cool.
yeah, and I'm not sure who these guys are, but they like to just kind of play around a little bit, and then there's nothing anybody can do about them because they're not physical. You know, you can shoot everything you want at it, and nothing's going to happen.
But we don't know, like you were saying, Palladians, they have you were saying the colors, but I see more in different manners and realms. I do get to see orbs and things like that, but not to the degree you're talking about.
Yeah, you know? There's so many different vehicles out there, and you know, some ships are less dense physical, some are pure energy ships. Some ships are magnetized light, and some are just Merkabahs, you know, so there's
right.
types of ships.
Well, thank you for calling in, and we're getting to the close of our show today. And thanks for everyone who did call in. And we want to thank James for coming in today and for awakening humanity and healing our earth and doing what you do there at the ECETI Ranch. And you can reach him at ECETI.org. And they have wonderful videos and a whole lot of information for you. So please go to that site. Thank you so much, James.
Oh, you're welcome. And, you know, the private invitation, ECETI.com, is the best site to go to because it has all of our information on there and all the upcoming events.
Okay, so please go to that website and make a reservation. Take a chance, right?
All right. There's a couple minutes left, and there's still one more caller.
Oh, I didn't see that. Okay, 1 minute call. Go for it.
Yeah, that's 434.
Okay, 434. Go ahead and ask your question quickly, please. What? Hello?
Oh, they dropped off.
Oh, I did not see her at all.
That's all right. Yeah,
okay.
Well, she can send me an email, you know.
Send an email and go ahead and give your information out. And they can call you, too. And you don't mind people calling, or would you rather that?
Yeah, they can call, or they can go to ECETI2015@gmail.com is another one for any questions. Or they can call 509-395-2092.
Okay. And go ahead and make that reservation and call back and tell us all about it, because you're guaranteed, I heard, like 90%, or is that even up a little bit more?
Well, if you're paying attention and we have clear skies, you're going to see something. Just every once in a while we get skunked, you know, nothing's going on, but not very often.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you so much, and have a wonderful, productive weekend this weekend, clearing your land and making it ready for everyone and for the visitors to come and educate and reunite, right, with family in a way. So,
thanks for having me on the show, and you know, keep up the work that you're doing as well.